I think I probably have gained a bit of muscle since I've been using it. If I look at my body shape since I've been using it over the last 30 days.
What's going on YouTube, it's Jason, and in this video I'm going to be discussing how I may have been wrong about athletic greens. I tried athletic greens earlier this year for 90 days. I took it every single day, and at the end of the 90 days I didn't really feel any difference. I kind of concluded that it was overpriced hype and it was nothing more than a multivitamin. But as I'm a man of science, I thought that one of the reasons I may not have got the full benefits is because I optimize everything: my sleep, my training, and my nutrition. And so there wasn't really much for me to benefit from. And so what I did is I gifted a sachet, 30-day supply of athletic greens to one of my clients who's about 10 years older than me and doesn't optimize everything, to see whether or not he felt the difference. Here's what he said.
Hi John, thank you very much for taking part in this very short interview. You have been trialing AG1 for the last 30 days?
Correct.
Cool. So first question is, have you been taking it consistently every morning on an empty stomach?
I have, and it's pretty easy for me to do because I don't generally eat much or eat first thing in the morning. So just to have a glass of that is pretty easy in terms of routine. Cool. I know why they say to do it that way, but actually it fits in quite well because I sort of pick it up and go out the door.
Yeah, perfect. And so the next question, would you say you've noticed any differences since taking the product?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I always come into these things in a slightly skeptical mindset. What I would say is, as you say, because I don't really eat breakfast, it does fill me up. So that's kind of helpful. And I would say I definitely get a bit of an energy lift and a mood lift when I take it. So there's definitely, like, I would say some sort of immediate hit from taking it. I've also generally found that often in the morning I'd want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea just to kind of kickstart me. If I drink the AG1, which incidentally is about the same colour as my t-shirt, I've just noticed, it has that kind of impact.
Yes.
But without the jitters, so actually I would say, you know, I was skeptical, but that bit I think does work. That bit does work.
Well, there are two of the benefits they cite. They do say mood, they do say energy, which I didn't feel when I took it. So actually, that's a good thing. Did you notice any difference in your digestion?
Honestly, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't think I would have said that was an area where I had problems before. Right. But I do eat quite a lot of like fermented foods and yogurts and stuff like that. So I would say for me, that's probably not an area where I needed to optimize necessarily. Yeah.
Perfect. And I guess that was going to be the next question, because I feel like I didn't get as much out of it because I'm like obsessive with a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Would you say you were someone that optimized every area of their health?
No. So I'm not terrible, but I'm not great. You know, Jason, I don't like sit down and work out like all my macros and my micros and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think from that perspective, like I think it's kind of helpful to have that thing, because I wouldn't be surprised if there were gaps in my diet. Probably not as much as some people who eat like loads of processed foods, for example. Yeah. But you know, I think it's probably quite helpful to know that you're definitely getting enough minerals and vitamins and other things as well.
Yeah, so you definitely represent, well, probably better than average Joe, but definitely room for improvement per se.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I suspect you probably get like diminishing returns the more careful you are about your diet. I would say.
Sure. And I guess the final question: would you recommend it as a product?
I feel really sort of split on what to say here, because firstly, like, the price is high, and that, whatever you say, unless it was some miracle drug or supplement, like it's hard to justify basically more than £1,000 a year at taxed income. Yeah. So from that perspective, I don't know whether I would recommend it, but I wouldn't write it off. I mean, if somebody asked me what was your experience, the other thing is, like, you were kind enough to send me this, so I didn't feel the pain of having to pay.
Yeah, sure.
I would say there's definitely benefits from it. I would say, I mean, the trouble is I haven't objectively measured this.
Sure.
I think I probably have gained a bit of muscle since I've been using it. If I look at my body shape since I've been using it over the last 30 days. Okay. Now, again, for you, I think because you're optimized, you probably wouldn't have noticed that. But for me, I think it probably gives me a bit more. But what I'm now wondering is, can you justify that expense for the kind of maybe the marginal gains, or is there a way of getting the same impact but spending less money but maybe it being a bit more inconvenient? So, like, what I would say is it's moved me from being completely skeptical to being probably a bit more open-minded about it. But the cost is just like
it's crazy. Yeah, and I was kind of saying to a lot of mates, it is comparable to like gym memberships. You start to think about that sort of price point for a trainer or for like, different supplements, your whole supplement routine rather than one, because they call it all in one. If it had been half the price, would you?
I think if it was half the price, I'd start thinking about it. I think what I said earlier on was if it was like 30 quid a month, it's £1 a day. You can kind of get behind that as a sort of. It's starting to get into the like Netflix and sort of Spotify subscription.
Sure.
But from my perspective, we have a household. I'm not the only person in it. If I was looking at, would I rather spend the money on an extra training session with you or a supplement? I know which one I'm going for.
Yeah, of course.
It's like I would rather have the sessions.
Sure.
But if you're already doing that and you're thinking, can I get some sort of benefit? I think that it's maybe worth considering. But the other thing I just wanted to say was what it's actually like to take it.
Yes.
And I have found it less palatable the longer it's gone on. Like, to start with, it's okay, but now my kids, like, they joke about it. It looks disgusting. It smells disgusting. I think it's probably part of it, but it goes down. It has this slightly odd pineapple flavour.
Yeah, really weird.
You have to force it down. You do have to force it down.
The aftertaste is so odd. It's like initially, actually, it's not bad, but it's got this like almost onion. Like aftertaste, which actually, doing that every day is actually. Well, that's everything. Thank you very much for the time, and I will. I'll let you know once it's up and running.
All right. Cheers, cool. Jason.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So guys, that is everything. To recap, John said he felt a difference in his energy levels, fullness, his mood, and even his muscle mass. All of these benefits surprised me, to be honest, because I didn't get the same effect. Except with fullness, I did notice a difference versus if I'd taken nothing at all, but didn't get anything from any of the other benefits. And that's why I like scientific experiments, because everyone's body is different. I've also done an experiment with my dad, who is 20 years older than John, just to see how his body responds. I think he's about 9 or 10 days into his experiment, so stay tuned for the results of that. But yeah, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it insightful. Don't forget to like it if you did. Comment below, let me know what you got out of Athletic Greens, whether you think it's a waste of time or not. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.